I'm Richard Roeper, and coming up next, Academy Award winners Tom Hanks and Emma Thompson star in a Disney movie about the making of a Disney movie. It's my review of Saving Mr. Banks right now. Okay, full disclosure, as much as I admired the filmmaking skill behind Mary Poppins, I was never a huge fan of all that chimmery stuff. But I am a big admirer of Disney's new movie about Walt Disney's film rights courtship of the author of the Mary Poppins books.
You can't imagine how excited I am to finally meet you.
But it's an honor, Mr. Disney.
Oh, Walt, now you gotta call me Walt. Mr. Disney was my old man, isn't that right, Don?
Absolutely, Walt.
Tom Hanks never really does an imitation of Walt Disney, but he seems just right as the avuncular visionary who had a folksy, family-friendly manner, but also the dogged determination of the most cutthroat Hollywood mogul. It's the early 1960s. Refusing to renege on a promise to his daughters made some 20 years earlier, Walt Disney continues to pursue Emma Thompson's P.L. Travers, who can't imagine her precious Mary Poppins getting musical treatment. Problem is, book royalties aren't what they used to be. Mrs. Travers wants to keep her house, and now she has to at least entertain the notion of selling those film rights.
Pleasure to meet you. Fear we shan't be acquainted for very long.
Why is that?
Because these books simply do not lend themselves to chirping and prancing. No, certainly not a musical.
Director John Lee Hancock skillfully alternates between the colorful, often hilarious scenes of the Disney team striving mightily to impress Mrs. Travers and the seemingly whimsical but ultimately heartbreaking scenes of her youth in Australia. In one of his best performances in years, Colin Farrell plays her father, who was the inspiration for the Mr. Banks character. Saving Mr. Banks is filled with perfect little nuggets, from the map of Florida with Orlando circled on it in Walt's office to Paul Giamatti's wonderful performance as Mrs. Travers' chauffeur, to the scenes where Jason Schwartzman and B.J. Novak as the Sherman brothers try to woo her with song.
Constable's responsible. Now, how does that sound?
No. Responsible is not a word.
We made it up.
Well, unmake it up.
The end credit photos illustrate the parallels between actual events and the fictionalized version, which is part docudrama, part pure Disney magical storytelling. Hanks is a joy to watch, and nobody does scathingly proper with a little dash of humanity, as well as Emma Thompson. Even if you've never seen the original Mary Poppins or even heard of it, this film works as its own lovingly rendered story. I give Saving Mr. Banks an A. I'm Richard Roeper. You get all my reviews at richardroeper.com and at reels.com.